everyone. Jim Biringer here, NHLRumors.com. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit the notify button. Like the video. We're talking about the Montreal Canadiens and Jake Evans. He is off the board. We've been documenting it on NHLRumors.com about Jake Evans, but he signs a new 4-year extension with the Canadiens just mere days ahead of the NHL trade deadline. The Canadiens on a 5-game winning streak. An injury to Kirby Dach has changed what Kent Hughes, the general manager, is thinking. Evans, one of the coveted centers on the market, along with Scott Laughton, Yanni Gourde, Brock Nelson. He could have demanded a big return, and he was going to demand a big return. Second round pick was the starting point. Teams like New Jersey, teams like LA, maybe Florida, maybe Tampa Bay, Toronto, throw him in there. Winnipeg, we're looking at this player. But maybe Kent Hughes wasn't getting what he was looking for. Maybe Jake Evans decided, I'm a homegrown talent, and I'm going to take a homegrown discount. And it's exactly what he did. He's on a $1.7 million AAV right now, entering the final year of that one. His new extension kicks in July 1st. It goes from 1.7 to 2.85 million on an AAV. Still a very movable contract, still a very good contract. The Canadiens are playing meaningful hockey. 1 point out of a wild card spot. And maybe he just wasn't getting what he was looking for. And it takes one phone call to change things. Remember, heading into 4 nations, heading out of 4 nations, the contract negotiations weren't going anywhere. There was talk that he was looking for 3.5, maybe 4 million. If he got that on the open market, with the Canadiens go high as 3. They get him at 2.85. It's a hometown discount for one of the best penalty killers in the league. It's great in the faceoff dot. He's having a career season. And it doesn't kill the cap space when the cap goes up. Kent Hughes is doing things the right way in Montreal, continuing to build a winner. And that's exactly what they're doing. And now it throws a monkey wrench into a lot of teams, draft boards and trade boards, because you're going to move picks out. Where are we going to be picking? The trade boards have gotten completely blown up. It's like March Madness with the bracket busters in the first round. Everything's just gone haywire. Looking at the team like New Jersey, they're dealing with an injury to Jack Hughes. They needed a center before Hughes got hurt. They were looking at Evans, Scott Laughton, Yanni Gourde potentially. Montreal keeps Evans, takes him off the board, says, no, we're not moving him. Even though there were reports they could move him. A lot of teams interested, as we stated. But they keep him. He's a nice piece. He fits in their bottom 6. Just what the Canadiens are doing. Again, the purpose of this season was to play meaningful hockey. Whether they got in the playoffs or not was a different story. Next year, the expectations were higher. Huey's new extension comes in. Eric Slafkovsky's new extension kicks in. We're seeing Cole Caulfield doing what he's doing. He's probably going to hit 40 goals. Lane Hutson's in the race for the Calder Trophy. Could win it. Probably should win it for what he's doing. Sam Montembeault playing well. It's a good young Canadiens team. They may be looking to add more. Again, they still have David Savard, Joel Armia, Christian Dvorak. But they may want to keep these players, his own rentals. Those guys are good for the room. Canadiens are clicking and buzzing right now. If Kent Hughes gets good offers for those players, yeah, you can move them. It's like Philadelphia last year. But what are they going to do moving forward? And how does that help this team now play meaningful hockey? Do you really want to wave the white flag? Unless you're making a hockey trade to get pieces back. Could they target somebody with term? And that's the decision Kent Hughes has to make. As for New Jersey, what is Tom Fitzgerald doing? Well, he may have to go to Scott Laughton. Is it a first-round pick really something they want to give up for Scott Laughton, who's got 1 year left at $3 million? Does Toronto want to give that up? Does Tampa want to give that up? There are other centers out there they could go find. But Brock Nelson, will he move? Is that a situation on the island? Yeah, they may be taking calls. But does he move? Or does he sign an extension like Evans? Like, this is what everybody's watching. How do the dominoes and the chess pieces fall into place here? Because this chess piece of Jake Evans just moved off the board. Got kicked out. Got moved. Where's Brock Nelson fit? Where do all these other centers fit? Because everybody wants a center. Do you find a center no one's looking at? Could it be a Tommy Novak? Does Casey Middlestad get moved? Is that a player that the Canadiens would like? Because of the injury to Kirby Dach. Do they move Kirby Dach? Like, that, I know he's injured. No one's going to take him. But you could put him on LTIR and see what he got going forward. Again, Montreal has options. Devils going to have some options. They got to get a solution long-term for the center position. They got to add some depth there. They got to get some goal scoring, secondary scoring. And, Evans would have fit perfectly even if Hughes didn't get hurt. Now they got to find somebody that has some punch, can help them now and in the future. And where do these other contending teams go? Do they still call Joel Armia, Scott Lawn, Yanni Gord? Like, again, the market's starting to shrink, and the players, there's a supply and demand factor here, and the prices are just going up, up, up for some of these players. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens moving forward. But the Montreal Canadiens shock the system, do what's best for business, and keep Jake Evans on a 4-year contract extension, throwing this trade deadline off on Friday into a whole new cycle. This has been Jim Biringer, NHLRumors.com. Again, click the notification button, subscribe to the channel, like the video. We'll be back again real soon.